Here we go.
Let's do it. It's going to be Metalopolis, and now it's time to begin the match, as we have ReIGN's Artist down in the bottom left-hand corner of Metalopolis. He will be the red Terran. And over to the right side, we've got the orange Terran. He's been on a tear. He's got 2 kills under his belt, 3 kills under his belt already. That's Complexity MVP's Keen.
Yes, it is. So a Code S player going up against ReIGN's Korean Terran acquisition in Artist, Mr. Minho Cho. And he is a very, very nice guy to speak to. Kind of he's got like the very stereotypical awkward computer nerd persona about him, but he is an awesome guy. He really is. So I'm really looking forward to this game. As we mentioned before, Artist has been doing very, very aggressive, high-pressure 1 and 2 base builds. I mean, he executes them flawlessly against Protoss and Zerg players. Against Zerg players, he actually does a bio build, which is ridiculous. And he just hits you with so many Marines and Marauders before you're able to have anything on the ground that it'll actually boggle your mind. I highly recommend you look at some of his games from, say, the daily Play Him tournaments. Yeah, that's like a major source of income for him, because he just enters in every Play Him tournament and wins them all. That's just his standard fare. But against Terran is when he runs into a little bit of a problem. We saw in the Play Him $1,000 tournament, TSL Alive actually exploited the weaknesses in Artist's play in TVT, and Artist had trouble being able to get back from that. He was significantly ahead in games, but had a very difficult time actually deflecting aggression, which is ironic because as aggressive of a player as he is, he has a hard time deflecting an aggressive Terran player. So that's where it comes in. We'll see what we get out of this game, and of course it looks like Mr. Keen did actually put up gas before he put up barracks this go around.
Mining away, the SCVs are building up their economies.
I just talked for like 3 minutes there, I apologize. But yes, I know I did.
Both of them are just building up right now and getting their bases going.
I've watched a lot of Artists lately, so that's where my...
it's always good, dude. It's always good to have a good backdrop on players. It's really interesting to kind of learn a little bit about what they're coming from and what they've done recently.
Yeah, certainly.
And we do have a factory coming for Keen.
Yep, and we're going to see if any add-ons get thrown up here soon, as Artist is going to run in and see that there is a factory and a very late orbital command coming up. Thus, he knows that it was a gas-first build.
And he didn't make the mistake that Spades made, which is run in with the SCV and then run away.
Running up like right here and then turning around.
Well, you got to give credit to Keen a little bit, too, because he did kind of hide the barracks, which made it more difficult.
Certainly. Because if there had been any structures anywhere inside of the main Fort Keen, then yes, Spades would have been able to pick up on that. And even with that, he almost won the game. And look at this. Already Artist throwing down his double gas. Excuse me. So he's going to have very quick siege mode, quick starport if he wants it as well. So, yeah, definitely. And we're going to see what he's able to do with that here in a bit. But he is going for a very aggressive build. It's just really a question of whether Keen, with these Banshees that are coming out, can hold it.
Yeah. Now, the thing here is if Keen needs to defend against... Let's say Artist goes for starport and he goes for Cloak Banshee, which I'm assuming he is because he's got the double gas and the supply depot block. I think that Keen should be able to hold this off really easily because he got his starport up sooner and he can get Vikings out.
Yes, definitely. And let's see here. Artist is behind in workers at the moment. But he's slightly ahead in supply because of his increased Marine count. And he is producing a number of Hellions himself. So we're actually going to have very similar unit compositions between these two players.
Both players are just going for Banshees here, but I think the difference is Artist is going to invest in Cloak. No! Keen gets Cloak. Did he have double gas?
Oh, it's Blue Flame Hellions coming out. Now, that's what I was waiting for. I thought that Artist, because of his gas timings, was going to go for an upgrade on the factory, but I guess that's just not the case. This is actually going to... Wow, this is actually a blast from the past. Right about 4 or 5 months ago, there was an extremely popular build in Korea that was based around going for fastest possible reactored Vikings. It was actually designed around it. Now, this is in the era of when Blue Flame Hellions were just absolutely ridiculous. And look at that Artist even seeing the second racks here, so he knows this is very aggressive off of one base. But this is when Blue Flame Hellions were the only thing you ever did in TBT.
And Vikings were good against Blue Flame Hellions.
Yes, so you just went for reactored Vikings. You were able to use that to win the air battle, deflect Banshees, and you could land on the ground, kill a bunch of Hellions, and you produce Blue Flame Hellions yourself. So Artis is just doing a build from like 4 months ago, is what it amounts to. But I think it has the potential to play well against what Keen is doing. He's got to get detection, though.
Yeah, well, he does have Comset. That's the advantage of being Terran. And it looks like 2 Vikings are already there. Force the cloak.
Beautiful.
But if Artis does not have scan, it looks like. Otherwise, he might have given chase.
Yeah.
Oh, he did have scan.
Looks like he's just going to save up, though, and because he knows he'll need it in an engagement.
Interesting. Well, it looks like now he's swapping all of his buildings around.
If he gets a Raven right now, I will love him forever.
Well, let's see what he builds out of that starport. He will get a Raven, so now he's got mobile detection, totally going to be shutting down the Cloak Banshee. He may even get the Banshee right now, forcing another Cloak.
Yeah.
And every time you Cloak, that costs of 25 energy instantly. Now that Banshee has no energy left over.
All right, there is a second base coming up for Keen now. No such developments for... Oh, no, Artis did literally that second throw down a command center of his own. So he's not actually pressing with this reactored the reactored Viking build, but he is just producing a mass number of Hellions on the ground.
This is actually really, really good by Artis. I think he is going to be able to shut down whatever push Keen decides to go for. And let's see what Artis... with that extra command center coming up as well, Artis is going to be... Well, there's an orbital morphing inside the main, so it looks like Keen's going to have his orbital up a little bit quicker.
And it looks like, yeah, there is actually one. I'm sorry, I was watching these Marines here at the front as Artis is actually putting on a little bit of pressure. And
he's
these
gonna
take
roast
a massive amount of damage from Blue Flame Hellions. But of course, there are the Banshees here now, so these Hellions are going to have to run away. But yes, you are absolutely correct. There is another orbital command out. But with the map control that Artis has with these Hellions, it's going to be very difficult for Keen to actually start moving that out unless he can get all of his units down on the low ground.
Yeah, it looks like the map control totally in favor of Artis right now. Thanks to those Blue Flame Hellions, the Cloak Banshees haven't done diddly squat this game.
Uh-oh.
And now
but they are coming in now.
You have an attack coming for Artis. He loses some of his Hellions, though. That's a little risky.
A lot of units did just go down, but look, this Cloaked Banshee is going to town on Artis base. And, wow, that's actually a huge amount of damage. He's forced to retreat with his Hellions. Oh, my God.
And there was 2 Banshees. How many
only got 1 kill,
SCVs have gone down already?
Let's actually take a look. There's
10,
been 10
11, 12. It continues to go. Finally drops a Comsat. The Raven coming in as well. He will kill off 1 Banshee, but there's still another one that's gotten 10 kills for itself, just by itself. It's now 62 to 38 supply, and Artis dropping the ball big time.
19 workers killed, and I thought Artis was set up to destroy in this game, but again, having a little bit of trouble deflecting aggression. Artis sneaks a Marine underneath the Banshee. It will report home, though, hopefully, and Artis is certainly going to need to pull a rabbit out of his hat.
Yeah. I don't know if he can pull off a magician's trick right now, though. It's going to be pretty hard to do. He lost so many SCVs right there, man. That was one of the biggest Banshee plays I've seen in a while. And now we have Keen coming in with the Cloak Banshee once again. There's really no SCVs to get there. He'll get the meal at the very least, and the Vikings will take care of it, but that's just adding icing on top of the cake for Keen.
Yeah, he actually did quite a bit more damage there, and again, it just makes Artis, do I push, do I not, do I push, do I not? Now we have tanks up for Keen, we have multiple Marauders being thrown in, so he is well prepared against armored units. He's got a lot of upgrades going for him as well. Stim is finished, Combat Shields is on the way. Artis is pretty far back in the upgrade regard.
It looks like Artis is going to get rolled right here, my friend.
Well, we'll find out.
Keen is about to attack the front door with those siege tanks.
Well, we'll see if
the one siege tank
is going to be enough. It's going to require very, very precise control out of his units. He scans to see exactly what's there. Oh, he may get the tank killed right away.
Wow.
Tank going down first, gets off 1 shot and then dies. Artis actually fighting back and doing quite a bit of damage, and he actually repels the forces from Keen.
No way.
Yeah.
Artis getting quite a good play right there. I think Keen just overextended a bit. I thought he was going to wait for more reinforcements and then roll in, but he just kind of went in right away with just 1 siege tank. That was a little risky.
Yeah.
And now,
Artis
all of a sudden, Artis with the big move here. He could come back.
He does have the advantage in terms of army. He's up by about, actually quite a bit of supply. Up by about 20 supply in army.
A Marauder.
But he is way, way, way down in workers.
Let's see how many he's down by.
20.
Yeah, that's
quite a bit.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
All right, third base coming out of Keen now, though. So his economy is still going to look remarkable throughout this entire game. It's just a question of how many units can Artist put on the field, because now it's full-on Marine tank coming out of Kane, and he's setting up on a highly defensive position.
Yeah, and right now, Artist, the only thing he's got going for him is his Hellions. He's got a bunch of Hellions around the map, good map control, but he's got to try to recover an economy, and he's just down by so many, and he's so worried about those Cloak Banshees, as is indicated by the Vikings he's got around the map.
Yeah, I don't think he can sit down and just try and macro out of this.
I agree with you. I don't think he can either.
Unless he had taken an earlier third base, and double expanded to try and get out of it, maybe, but...
Pulled it in an Ori?
With what he's doing now, I really think he had an opportunity to push, do a lot of damage, start ferrying units into the high ground, and just try and kill his opponent, but I think that moment has passed.
Well, actually, he just gets in there with a bunch of Blue Flame Hellions inside the natural. He's roasting up a couple of SCVs, but the tank shuts that down.
Yeah, definitely.
So easily.
Only 4 workers killed this entire game for Artist, so he is considerably far behind us. He's lost 20 of his own.
Well, this is not looking good for Artist at all. Back inside the main, he doesn't really... he did scout the production. He drops a ComSat. Those 2 Hellions are probably going to get taken out by this Marine force as it moves down south.
Yeah, definitely. Blue Flame Hellions do have very high damage output to those Marines, but not going to be enough. We do have another command center floating its way across. Did not turn into an OC inside of the main, so that's more than likely going to be a Planetary Fortress here in just a second. And back on Artist side of things, looks like he wants to try and force the issue. I don't know what he's doing, actually. He's got his Banshee attack squad moving out, but I hate to tell him, there's no more Banshees on the map.
Yeah. A Raven and 3 Vikings is not going to do much at all against that army, and with Key now pushing down south, both players look like they're going to collide in the middle here next to the Selnaga Tower, and if Artist can get a siege up sooner, he might be able to hold his ground for a little bit. But it's a bleak situation, man.
Yeah,
that macro is going to kick his ass.
Yeah, well, he's got to overwhelm this force once again. And here it comes. He's not sieged up at all. And that's the moment that Keen needed. He can establish his...
He needs a siege right now.
Yeah. Even if he does right now, though, he can establish his will in the middle of the map, and Artist is being forced back farther and farther without being able to commit over to that third base, and that production is soon going to kick in for Keen.
Yeah, and it looks like both players just kind of trying to vie control over that Selnaga Tower. If you can get a siege tank on that tower on the high ground, you actually have a really good advantage. But it looks like neither player can really do that now, as the tank lines have been set up, and oohs and ahs going left and right. Marines are dying, and tanks are falling, and Vikings are dying.
Yeah, the Viking went down there for a medevac, and Artist has marginal control of the sky right now, but just the sheer weight of Keen's forces. Oh God, and setting up the flank as well. No. Keen's well aware of this and picks off the forces that Artist was sending around. So Keen is actually going to be able to put on a little bit of a pincher here in just a second.
Ooh, can he try for a Marine bomb here? No, he cannot.
Not with that many bioforces sitting there.
Too much protectorates around the tank.
Uh-oh. Looks like Artist is gonna...
He stemmed everything!
And then sat back.
Fire everything!
Fire the missiles! Oh, man. Alright, so here we go. Keen, he's just waiting for his moment, biding his time. He's got a drop here in the top left-hand corner that he'll pull forces back with. Artist is just caught so far out of position right now. And the drop is going to just get obliterated.
Well, actually, he got out of there with only losing 1 Marine.
Yes.
He just got denied.
The other ones are hurt. You are exactly right.
We'll drop him out to heal them up again.
Keen is almost maxed now, and it looks like ColMVP may be on the verge of winning their Winners Round 1 match here at Team Arena Challenge.
Short of a miracle, short of pulling a rabbit out of the hat. And a tank will go down. That's another play. A miscue by Artist. And the tanks are set up, man. Artist is in terrible shape.
And there it is. GG. Congratulations to Complexity MVP as they have advanced to the semifinals of the winners bracket here at IPL Team Arena Challenge.
是上将。